Welcome to this Swagelok video. Today's topic is considerations in selecting the end connection for your hose assembly. The right hose with the right end connection keeps your process performing safely and cost-effectively. The wrong hose could undermine your process, put personnel at risk, and compromise your bottom line. Now that you have selected the core tube material, reinforcement layer, and cover for your hose, it is time to select an end connection. End connections are where most leaks occur. Selecting the right end connection and attachment method can remove the need for an adapter to attach the hose to your system and reduce potential leak points, and allows a longer portion of flexible hose in the assembly. There are 3 items to consider when selecting the end connection for your hose: industry standards, hose type, and system specifications. First, let's take a look at some of the industries that make use of hose assemblies. General industrial, typically determined by pressure rating; pharmaceutical, typically determined by the need for a sterile design; and semiconductor, typically determined by surface finish. Second, consider the hose type you have selected as it relates to compatibility in pressure and temperature ratings: metal, fluoropolymer, nylon, or rubber. Now consider the material and type of end connection in your system to which the hose is being connected. The material of the system and hose end connections are usually the same. Many types of end connections are similar in appearance but may have minor dimensional or thread differences based on regional requirements that are not interchangeable. In a general industry setting, NPT, ISO, BSP, and lap joint flanges are commonly used. Here's an example of a general industry setting that has a 1/2 inch threaded end connection on one end and a 1/2 inch lap joint flange on the other end. The system rating is 100 psig or 6.8 bar. The hose type selected is a fluoropolymer hose. After identifying the specific threaded end connection and flange type, it is determined that the appropriate end connections are a 1/2 inch stainless steel male ISO BSP tapered end connection on one end and a 1/2 inch stainless steel ANSI flange on the other end. Note that it is important to identify the thread type and pressure rating to ensure proper installation and system media containment. An example of a pharmaceutical setting is a system that has a 1/2 inch sanitary flange on one end and a 3/4 inch sanitary flange on the other end. The system rating is 60 psig or 4.1 bar. The hose type is fluoropolymer with a silicone cover. After identifying the flange dimensions, it is determined that the appropriate end connections are a 1/2 inch sanitary quick clamp on one end and a 3/4 inch sanitary quick clamp on the other end. Note that it is important to identify the inside and outside flange dimensions to determine the size and standard of the hose end connection to prevent system contamination. An example of a semiconductor setting is a system that has a face seal end connection on one end and a tube fitting on the other end. The system rating is 700 psig or 48.2 bar. The hose type is metal. After identifying the sealing method of the system end connection, a 1/4 inch VCR metal gasket face seal is selected for the first end. After determining the tube fitting is fractional and not metric, a 1/4 inch Swagelok tube fitting is selected for the other end. Note that it is important to identify the sealing method of the mating end connection and whether a connection is fractional or metric to prevent system leakage and unusable end product. Selecting the proper end connection improves your process by eliminating the need for adapters, reducing leak points, and production downtime. The risk to personnel, equipment, and your end product is lowered. Refer to swagelok.com and the product literature for additional information. Thank you for watching. We will continue to develop videos like this to help you get the job done. Get more information by watching our other videos or contacting your authorized sales and service center.